Pokemon Legends Arceus introduced us to 6 new cross-generational evolutions, with Weirdeer, Kleavor, Ursaluna, Basculegion, Sneasler, and Overqwil. All of them have really specific evolution methods that are really annoying to do, whether that be using a certain move 20 times, getting hit with enough recoil damage, or being exposed to an item under certain conditions. However, the one that I want to focus on the most is Ursaluna. To evolve an Ursaring into Ursaluna, it must be exposed to a peat block during a full moon. What's interesting about this is that in the Teal Mask DLC of Scarlet and Violet, we were introduced to Bloodmoon Ursaluna, an alternate form with the same typing but a different ability and different stats. There's not a whole lot said about how this alternate form of Ursaluna came to be, other than that it underwent a unique transformation over many years as a result of surviving in its harsh new environment. I think it's pretty safe to say that part of this creature's unique transformation was being exposed to a total lunar eclipse where the moon appears to be red, also known as a blood moon. In order for this to happen, it must be a full moon, and the Earth and Sun must align in such a way that the Earth blocks the light that the moon gets from the Sun. Remember, Ursaring can only evolve during a full moon. Ursaluna has a moon shape on its head, and Bloodmoon Ursaluna has a red moon shape on its head. Thus, it's very likely that this creature had its traditional evolution method corrupted, causing it to become the Blood Moon beast that we know and encounter with Perrin in the DLC. This got me thinking, could corrupting other Pokemon's evolution methods cause the creation of new forms? And if so, what would that look like? First, Goodra evolves from Sliggoo when it is leveled up in the rain or fog starting at level 50. So what if this traditional evolution method was corrupted, and instead Sliggoo was leveled up in a snowstorm, thunderstorm, or other kind of weather? I feel like an ice or electric type Goodra variant could be really cool in addition to the steel type Hisuian Goodra that we got in Legends Arceus, since regular Goodra doesn't really get a lot of love from the Pokemon community as a pseudo-legendary. Next, Lycanroc has 3 forms depending on what time of day Rockruff is leveled up, either midday, midnight, or dusk. It does not, however, have a Dawn form, which would perfectly complement the Dusk form to make Dawn Dusk and Midday Midnight. While this isn't really corrupting the evolution method, it still does give a unique change. If we're keeping on the theme of warm colors, I think yellow would be perfect for the potential Lycanroc Dawn form to parallel the yellow light from the sun at the crack of dawn. Taking this a step further, one of its abilities could even be Early Bird, another reference to the fact that it evolves when leveled up early in the morning. Applin is a Pokemon with 3 evolution paths, one of which was recently given in the Teal Mask DLC, which was then given a 3rd evolution in the Indigo Disc DLC. Each of these evolution paths happen when Applin is exposed to a different type of apple. It evolves into Flapple when exposed to the tart apple, Appleton when exposed to the sweet apple, and Dipplin when exposed to the syrupy apple. So what if it was exposed to some kind of corrupted apple, like the forbidden fruit from the biblical story of Adam and Eve, or the one from Snow White, or just a really bad tasting one like a Red Delicious? What kind of apple would it evolve into then? Lastly, there are 2 very common evolution methods aside from the traditional method of leveling up, which are being exposed to an evolution stone and having high happiness. For the evolution stones, I was thinking that a similar concept to the Poltegeist and Sinistcha evolutionary lines could be cool, where instead of being exposed to an unremarkable or cracked teapot, it is a cracked evolution stone. For Pokemon that evolve from high happiness, what would happen if instead it was the opposite and it could only evolve from low happiness? The only thing in the game that allows you to benefit from your Pokemon having low happiness is the move Frustration, a move that grows stronger the lower a Pokemon's happiness is, the counterpart to the move Return. I feel like this could be an interesting concept for a Pokemon based on anger and hatred, but it might not be suitable for a Pokemon game since it would require you to intentionally mistreat and abuse your Pokemon, something that Game Freak probably doesn't want to promote. Anyway, those are all the Pokemon I thought could potentially have different forms by corrupting their evolution methods, but let me know in the comments what Pokemon you think could have other forms. Thanks for watching!